Hey guys, it's me again. So what we've got here today for you is a review of the game Forsaken Uprising by Digital Homicide. And for those of you who aren't watching the playlist or aren't familiar with what's going on, the reason for this review is because of a recent news article that I did a quick little bit of coverage on my channel, is that Digital Homicide is suing Jim Sterling for $10.76 million in regards to slander and defamation. And because of this, Jim Sterling's always bashed on Digital Homicide extremely hard, and I decided I would take an honest, objective look at the video games in order to determine whether or not he's being overly harsh on the games and the developers themselves, or if there is something to his claims and his statements that they're all basically just a bunch of talk. So we did have, yesterday we had our first review with the Slaughtering Grounds, which turned out to be not so great. So let's see if they do any better with their second offering, Forsaken Uprising. So here we are, boys and girls, with the options menu for Forsaken Uprising. And no, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is exactly the same options menu that was provided for the Slaughtering Grounds, which means this is the exact same bit of software. We have the screen resolution, all your standard screen resolutions, graphics quality, which no idea what any of this means, and display left or right because I have multiple monitor, and input, very basic control input system, which is just... This just shows, guys, that this is basically an unmodified system right here. I've seen this quite a bit on a lot of other games, and it's never from anything that's had too terrible much amount of thought put into it. So, but from that, we'll move on here. So here we are with Forsaken Uprising. This is an MMO done in a similar art style as the Slaughtering Grounds. Actually, dare I say, the exact same art style. And unfortunately, the game still leaves you with the impression that it is utterly unfinished. This MMO is a survival crafting simulator that is along the same style as Ark, where you craft dwellings, improve weapons and armor, and basically every tool you have at your disposal. However, that's where the comparison ends. Wonky controls that barely function and break half the time mar whatever enjoyment could be had from this game. No minimap, missing sounds, and the same methodology seen in the Slaughtering Grounds of 3 never-changing quests that are as follows. Slay 5 human NPCs. Slay 5 undead NPCs. Slay 10 animals. That's it. There is no other quests, and not even any quest givers for that matter. If you encounter NPCs, expect them to be hostile. Because they are all hostile. Everything in this world is hostile towards the player, including the developers, it seems. The lack of a map, mini-map, or any meaningful questing system leaves you wandering around aimlessly, navigating the detritus of other players that are left laying everywhere. Crates, fountains, and forges litter the landscape as PC-created crafting units don't seem to expire. The exact opposite can be said of the wooden chests that spring magically from every animal, NPC, or monster you happen to slay, though. The developers couldn't be bothered to design appropriate corpse animations, so you're left with a wooden crate that disappears after 15 seconds or less, giving you an extremely limited time frame to be able to collect the spoils of victory. And that's a pretty big if, as the game constantly breaks, which causes you to be unable to interact appropriately with anything. Unable to craft items, open wooden crates, and sometimes unable to even harvest wood or stone. You're left wandering around, unable to do a fucking thing, and yet you're still able to kill things for some reason. But that does no good whatsoever because you can't collect the loot, and there's no leveling system in the goddamn game either. And the graphics, well, you can see for yourself. The graphics are exceptionally poor. Pop-in is rampant, extremely low-res textures overall, plus horribly drawn animations and assets. The graphics of this game are mainly objects that most other games use as placeholders while they design their own assets. Here, it's clear that stock Unity assets were used again, and to very poor effect. I really don't think there's much else that can be said about the graphics except to label them as subpar. Now, as far as the stability goes, this game is fucking broken. bugs are the norm, not the exception, rendering the game all but completely unplayable. Multiple hard crashes were experienced on a fairly regular basis, and most of those happened while attempting to load into the goddamn game. Sound stopped working, interactivity with objects and your own fucking menus break. Overlapping menus that fight each other coalesce into a shitstorm of a mess that simply can't be ignored or overlooked. And again, here is where I talk about the story in this section of the video, but I can't. Because, yet again, there is none. No pretext or explanation for anything you do. No quests. Like, fucking at all. Anywhere to be found. The game is just empty. So, to sum up, guys, if I were to give this a scale verdict, I would give it a 1 out of 10. And the reason for that is because the game is janky, it's broken, it's incomplete, it's messy, it's buggy, and they're trying to charge you money for this shit. Even though if it is $3 fucking, it's still far too much, because what you're laying on the line isn't about the money, okay? It's about your fucking dignity as a gamer, because that is what is important, and that's what's being left in the dust if you pay money for this piece of garbage. Okay? It is broken. It is horrible. It earns 1 out of 10. And it fought hard to earn that. I mean, it really tried to get down there. So guys, just stay away from this game like the fucking plague, okay? Just trust me on this. This is what I'm here for. This is why my channel exists, is to protect you guys from things like this. Not just to point out really cool stuff, which I love to be able to point out games and say, hey guys, this game is really great. You should go check it out. I love doing that. I do. But games like this is why I have a purpose, to protect you guys from this shit, okay? So, here it is, Forsaken Uprising by Digital Homicide. It is available on Steam for $3 or your regional equivalent. And just don't, guys, just don't. Don't do it. Don't. Trust in me. Trust in your friendly neighborhood alpha. Don't do it, okay? So, there it is. And I'm going to leave you with that. So, once again, I am the one, the only, the always, SidAlpha. And I'll see you next time. Hi there, boys and girls. Thanks for checking my video out. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe even that subscribe button. Trust me, it works really good. Don't forget to share with your friends, and if you're interested in following me on Twitter and Facebook, the links for that are in the description down below. I also have a Patreon if you're interested in helping to support the growth of my channel, and the link for that is down below as well. And once again, thanks for watching and supporting my channel, guys. I really appreciate it.